In every relationship, there are problems at times. And this is true with the children. It's true with every relationship we have. And when there are problems, we need to figure out how we're going to confront those issues or confront any challenging behaviors that we have with the children in the classroom. We want to be sure that our communication in a time of conflict or challenging behavior is still going to feed the relationship in a positive way, right? So we don't want to have a great relationship with children when things are going smoothly, but boy, when there's a problem, our relationship is not strong. I'm not someone they can rely on. So our communication and the way that we respond to and confront some challenging behaviors in the classroom are still a time when we need to be focused on relationship building, how this is impacting our relationship long term. And this can be challenging, to be honest, because when there's a problem in the classroom or a behavior issue that you're seeing, sometimes you just want to get it solved. And sometimes you have to if it's endangering any of the other students. But overall, we still need to, as much as possible, step back and say, okay, how can I work on dealing with this issue while still being true to and supportive of the relationship I have with this child? Okay? So there are some things to keep in mind when you're thinking about confronting a child about something while still keeping the strength of your relationship in mind. One important thing to do as you approach a child about an issue or a problem is to only deal with the present. Okay? It can be really tempting to say, I cannot believe you're doing this again after you've done it 15 times this week and we've already talked about it. I understand that emotion as the adult, but with the child, we need to deal in the present. What's happening right now that we need to work to resolve. Let's not bring in baggage from the past, because it's hard to want to work with somebody that's mad about 15 other things. You know, it's going to impact our ability to solve the problem and the relationship with the child, because the child's going to just think, well, my teacher holds grudges. And that's hard to have a strong relationship with someone who does that, right? So we want to deal with the present. Focus on what's happening right now and deal with it as soon as you can after it happens. Try not to wait several hours or several days. Try to work on it as soon as you can. Sometimes you have to wait a little while, but as soon as you can when it's happening. When children are struggling with some of the expectations in the classroom and we see that struggle result in behavior issues, it can be tempting to try to manage it outside of working with the child. But we need to show that we respect our relationship with this child so much that we are going to go directly to them and work on this. We might bring in other people for help, but I'm not going to go to your parents first and complain about you, or go to another adult at the school and complain about you and try to solve it. I'm going to go to you. You're the person I have a relationship with. You're the person who needs this help from me, and I'm going to go to you. So that's another aspect of when we are confronting challenging behaviors. We need to respect the child enough to go directly to them. And that will, even though it can feel hard and uncomfortable, at the end of the day, that shows the child we care enough about them, and that does build our relationship with them. We need to remember to speak to the child with respect. And I know that this guides us all the time in our interactions with children, but when they've done something problematic, when we're concerned and needing to intervene, it can be easy to forget to be respectful and treat them in a disrespectful manner. And we just have to remember to do that. And it's particularly important for children who are struggling to display their own respectful communication, because we're a model for them. So if they're struggling, if that's even what the issue is about, we can't show them more disrespectful behavior. Like, we need to communicate respectfully with them to help them learn it. When we approach a child to resolve an issue that we're seeing, we should let them know what we're seeing. Not you're stealing so-and-so's pencil or whatever the issue is. We don't want to accuse them, but we want to say, hey, I'm noticing that there's some trouble going on over here. There seems to be an issue around a pencil. Tell me about it, right? So we don't want to go in with an accusation, but just what we're seeing. Open the door for a conversation toward resolution. When you ask for that, when you say, hey, I'm noticing this, what's going on? Actually listen to the answer. Don't decide that you know what's going on and you're only asking to make them feel like they're involved in this resolution. Actually listen. We don't always know what's going on. We haven't watched everything that's happened between those two children all day long to know what has been building up over time. We maybe have watched the last 2 minutes. And it might seem clear what happened in those last 2 minutes, but it might not be clear all the other things that built up to that before the last 2 minutes. So when we ask them what's going on, we need to actually listen to their answers. Try to offer I statements. So you can ask what's going on and then listen and then offer an I statement about it. And an I statement avoids accusation because it's about me. I was worried because I saw the two of you wrestling and I thought you might get hurt. Not, you were wrestling and you're in big trouble, right? But I was worried. So use I statements because that can help the children sort of pull out of the issue in front of them and think beyond just the two that are wrestling on the floor. Remember that you're modeling, so use a tone of voice that is respectful and calm. You're showing them that even when there's a lot of emotion, even when I'm pretty irritated with you perhaps, I can stay calm and we can solve this problem. And that's giving them tools for their own growth in these things. And keep in mind that sometimes when there's a challenging behavior in the classroom, we don't handle it well. We don't handle it in all of these calm, measured, thoughtful ways that I've been describing. And that's going to happen on occasion too. So in order to keep the relationship strong and keep maintaining it, when that happens, just go apologize. I'm really sorry about the way I handled that. I kind of lost my temper, or I raised my voice and I really didn't want to do that with you. Apologize. In a relationship, especially this as a guide in the classroom, as a teacher in the classroom, it doesn't mean that we have to always be perfect. We have to be trying, but we can also show them that we make mistakes when it does happen and how we handle those mistakes. I'm really sorry for treating you that way. I don't want to do that again. I'm going to work to be better in the future. I hope you can accept my apology. Okay? So try to be sure that you're doing these things when you're responding, especially to that challenging behavior that can trigger negative emotions in us, but then also be prepared to make a mistake and own that mistake. And that still builds a strong relationship with the children. If you don't own the mistake, if you try to ignore it, you are not maintaining the relationship. So it does take some humility there. And apologize when you need to. But keep in mind that even when there's problems in the relationship or behaviors that are causing issues in the classroom, you want to approach those in ways that are going to continue to strengthen and support the relationship you have with the children.